We haven't won the House yet. We hopefully.
Well,
but,
don't get greedy. I mean,
oh, I'm in the mood to get greedy.
Mark,
oh,
let me just
gosh.
start this by saying the following. Here's your challenge today.
Yes.
You got to help me get through this without losing it, because you and I have been on a ride together. Our audiences and us have been on a ride. They have thrown so much at us, at him, a gazillion-dollar effort to destroy Trump and the Republicans. We did it. We defeated their campaign. We beat Hollywood. We beat big tech. We beat big business. And Mark, it wasn't particularly close. And there is so much soul searching that they have to do right now, because they either have to contend with the majority of America is Hitler, or they're pitifully out of touch with the United States of America. And I'm struggling right now, and you're the first guy I thought of. You and I were texting last night. We texted earlier this morning, because I'm feeling everything right now. I'm feeling emotional talking to you. I'll get a little less emotional, but you mean so much to me. I spent a big chunk of the morning talking to Seb Gorka, who was with President Trump last night, and got his insights, his strong, and he's not a warm, fuzzy, happy-go-lucky guy. He was giddy this morning. I've never heard Seb so happy.
What does giddy Seb Gorka sound like?
It's like Darth Vader sucking on helium.
I'm giddy, Mike. I'm incredibly giddy.
He was. It was a wild conversation, and look, let's be honest here. It could be an interesting chapter for Seb Gorka, because there was only one guy that kicked him out of the White House first time, named John Kelly, and John Kelly's on the trash heap right now, the dustbin of history. So, but here's the challenge that I turned to my dear, dear friend, my brother from another mother, Mark Davis. Right now, some of them are saying, oh, let's all be unified. It's time for unity. Let's get together. But when they win, they put their opponents in jail. They lock us up. And somebody said on social media, don't fall for it. You owe them nothing but contempt. I'm thinking of you, Liz Cheney. I'm thinking of you, Joe Scarborough. I'm thinking of you. And yet, we're different. And I think we ought to be different. There is a difference between the way they behave and the way we do things. And I do believe in some grace. I've got family members who texted me today and last night, Dad, congratulations, your side won. And it wasn't their side, folks. I mean, not all my kids are on board. But I think of them lovingly. I may disagree with them politically, but I do believe, Mark, and I think you'll agree, this is a time to show some grace, to show some temperance, to show some restraint, because when you kick somebody in the teeth and you got them down on the mat, you don't have to spit on them after they're down. And,
nope.
And
I have great news.
Yeah.
You're so tone perfect this morning. I have wonderful news, because it's not really a binary choice between showing total grace and not saying anything about anybody and just pretending none of this has happened, and kicking people when they're down and being mean. There is a delicious, delightful middle ground, and it looks like this. To practice exactly the kind of grace and poise and class that you and I try to embody at all times, and yet to know that we don't have to go on a big rant about what a craven witch Liz Cheney is to know that she's in her own personal little hell this morning.
They're in misery.
The system took care of it.
The system
took care of it. Now, it's funny. You needed to go pick a media person, and there are many. And you went with Joe Scarborough. They're on Morning Joe, MOURNING, Morning Joe. Have you seen Mika this morning? Have you seen the missus?
Wearing black?
I mean, full black. It's like she's
going out on the club. She doesn't have like a black veil over her face.
Just about. But Joe Scarborough started the show talking about how historic what Trump did was with
Correct.
this sweep of states. He said,
Correct.
guess what? The red wave that didn't happen in 22, it happened last night.
Correct.
And it wasn't in terms of, like a Reagan 84, but it was Trump losing by only 4 in Illinois, by losing by a slim margin in New Jersey, by winning Hispanic men.
Mark, this is what they have to contend with. Historic Hispanic votes, historic black votes, historic blue state votes. Look, they're out of touch. And I think maybe they're starting to have eyes to see with. They're starting to recognize.
I bet you're not. I mean, listen, you're talking about millions of people. The evidence that they're not is some of the tone of the analysis this morning on the aforementioned Morning Joe, where I think it was Willie Geist, maybe Joe, maybe Al Sharpton, shocker, who said that America just wasn't ready for a woman of color. It's racism, it's misogyny, and it's fear and it's anger. They're insulting America rather than looking in the mirror.
I can do you one better. I liked the reactions from folks like illuminaries like Cardi B, Stephen King, the famous novelist. Oh no, he's melting down.
Oh no, okay.
He posted, I'm so sorry, America dead at 248 years of age. I genuinely did everything I could possibly do. Cardi B elevated the conversation by on
very good.
Instagram. She said, and I quote, I'll have to bleep some of myself. I swear to God, I'm going to F you up. Get away from me. I'm sick of you all. Burn your effing hats, mother effers. I'm really sad. I swear to God, I'm really sad. So Cardi B is not taking it well. I mean, actress Christina Applegate. Why? Give me your reasons why. My child is sobbing right now because her rights. My child is sobbing. Well, she's sobbing because her mother's miserable.
Her mother's a mental.
Her mother needs help.
Call CPS.
How about Chris Wallace over on CNN? Level-headed analysis.
Oh, your buddy.
Yeah, he's an old friend of mine, but I haven't talked to him in years.
Trump broke him.
Trump broke the guy, and he had to tell CNN there's the possibility now of a complete united Republican government with Trump as the president, with the Republican House and Senate. Now, we're not there yet with the House, but we could be. That means in terms of appointments, in terms of immigration, economic policy, environmental policy, you name it, he will have a blank check.
Yes, he
will.
I
want to take a moment to gently chastise with love those who called me and said, oh, they're not doing anything about election integrity. It's over. Why are we going to vote? They're going to cheat. Credit to Laura Trump, to Whatley and the RNC. They took an ineffective, impotent RNC. And you and I kept telling our audience this. It's different this time.
Have faith. Have faith. They were on it.
It was a machine, Mark. They had an aggressive legal watchdog outreach that stayed in front of the potential fraud. We out-organized the Democrats. And you know who did it? Laura Trump. I mean, look at the choices Donald Trump made, putting his daughter-in-law in there, right? How about J.D. Vance? Could there have been a better pick than J.D. Vance?
Well, I put it to the test. I went back through every running mate that I remember, and even those that older than me remember. Best running mate ever.
I mean, it was incredible. And look at what we got now, because we got 4 years of Trump, 4 years of President J.D. Vance.
Look at the generation that's coming, because that 2028 primary, how great. Here we are, Mark and Mike with 2028 talk. J.D. Vance, Ron DeSantis, Vivek, Tulsi Gabbard, Sarah Huckabee Sanders. What an amazing generation of younger leaders we have to take this Trump torch and carry it forward.
And how about Ron DeSantis? Let's talk Florida for a minute.
Let's talk Florida.
The attempt to enshrine abortion rights, even late-term abortion, defeated by the Florida voters. Sorry, that Florida will not be a late-term, come one, come all abortion state. The effort to legalize marijuana, something you and I feel very strongly about, not going to happen in Florida.
Fail.
Sorry, down for the count. And Ron DeSantis largely did that, Mark. He has been incredible during these devastating hurricanes. He has been and you know what? I've said it. I'm sorry I don't want to pour any salt here on the wound. I'm trying to be graceful here. It wasn't his time. It just 2024 was not his
that's
time.
totally okay.
It's okay.
It's totally okay. Republican America looked at Ron DeSantis and said, "You're awesome.
That's
Maybe
right.
later.
That's
let's revisit because right now we need this guy." Go ahead.
Now, I'm sorry. Let's talk about a couple quick heroes here. How about Scott Pressler and Charlie Kirk? These two young men had a get out the vote, chase the ballot program. Turning Point USA was second to none. I mean, I saw it with my own eyes. I was with Charlie last week. It was an insane machine to knock on doors, to ring doorbells, and they were mocking Charlie. Oh, the other day, did not look like it was so smart for Trump to partner with Charlie Kirk and Turning Point. And Scott Pressler, the kid with the long hair and the cowboy boots, he moved to Pennsylvania. This young man, an activist, he's a social media guy. I mean, I don't mean to diminish him. And he said, I'm going to help turn Pennsylvania for Trump. And he did.
Yeah, buddy.
He did.
Yeah, buddy.
He's a hero. And one more thing. I saw one of the January 6th attorneys posted on social media, my January 6th clients are about to be unburdened by what has been.
Oh, that's so awesome, using a Kamala-ism.
That's right.
And
because look, what happens to them? They may not have ever gotten out. And I have a feeling under President Trump, and before you do what you're going to do here, let me just make the final exclamation point. Yeah. I held back on what was really at stake because I didn't want to get the words in the universe. Mark, you and I we touched on it. They would have come for us. They would have come for talk radio. They would have come for X. They would have put Elon Musk in jail and deported him. Free speech survived and thrived. Mark, it is so glorious to know how sweet this victory is.
It
the
is.
country was
I'll
saved.
say this over and over again, how compared to how this could have been, because of course, lower taxes is a conservative thing, but strong borders is just a good thing to have. Right. Less regulation is a conservative thing, but knowing how many genders there are is just a good thing to do. So many just objectively good things. 60 seconds on the big deal that is abortion. You mentioned Florida said no to expanding abortion rights. A bunch of other South Dakota also said no. A bunch of other states said yes. States where Trump won. And actually, Claire McCaskill on MSNBC had a moment of actual clarity. She said, Trump pulled something off here that's kind of genius, because in taking that stance that says we're not going to do a national abortion ban, it's great that it's been left to the states. That left millions of voters with the opportunity to vote for abortion rights if they wanted to, but to also recognize that their lives were better under Trump. So there were people who voted to expand abortion rights and then turned around and voted for Trump. They did not blame Trump for the current abortion back and forth, which is another part of why he won.
Look, Trump said something last night, and believe me, I was up all night. I'm running on about 2 hours sleep. Hopping on the plane for Florida because we're in D.C. We were at the Heritage Foundation last night. Big celebratory party there. I watched every word of Trump's speech live, and he said something that may his words resonate through the land. He said, we got to heal our country. We've got to heal our country. He had a gracious, unifying message. Ivanka was on stage. That's the first appearance she's made all year. Barron beaming. That kid is about 7 foot
tall.
I mean, he just, but they had family up there, a beaming Melania, and Trump's message was unifying. He was not the sharp-elbowed, you know what to the walls guy. He was, we got to heal our country. We got to make it prosperous again. What's that?
I wonder what the inaugural address is going to be like. I hope it follows. I think it's possible to do two things at once: to describe our country's deep problems, the urgency of digging out of them, and yet also to have that healing kind of outreach. And Mike, wouldn't it be something if this sharp-elbowed, brash, often loudmouth guy on social media was exactly the agent of healing and unity? It's never going to happen in terms of everybody believing the same way, but a kind of just make us feel better in an atmosphere of free speech and optimism. Wouldn't it be something if he's exactly the kind of figure we need in this practice?
Well, I know you and Lisa aren't real big on like work travel. I'm going to try to twist your arm and maybe I can go through Lisa, because I know where I'm going to be January 20th.
Oh my!
I want to be here for this inaugural address. I have a hunch we'll be broadcasting from here. I have a hunch, and I know how you guys are funny about travel. You do your thing. And
well, this one's kind of. I've done some inaugurations.
I know
this
you
one's
have,
kind of
but this one's special. This one is going to be special, and it's going to be it is. Hey, it's morning in America again, my friend. And
it is.
And
it is.
Kudos to the audience, to people who never lost faith.
Everybody listening. We've talked a lot about each other because we're fans of ourselves and each other. But doggone it, this listenership, these people, these voters, this country, doggone it, I love this country. I was gonna love this country no matter what. It is because I love this country that I would have been pretty crestfallen this morning if we were this fallen and this stupid to hand this to her.
This audience,
but we didn't.
This audience makes it a joy for you and me to come to work every day.
That's it,
and
man.
of course, and not for nothing, we might have been looking for jobs at Burger King if it didn't go the way
exactly.
we wanted.
We would have been working the McDonald's drive-through every day.
I'd be a good host. Hello, welcome. You want fries with that?
You want fries with that?
Boom. I love you, man. I love you, Mark. Happy election.